what I'm being charged for an assault with a deadly weapon, and I wasn't even. I don't even own a weapon. This was
like
not
me on my show. On my show, I'm assaulting people with my brain, so that's a deadly weapon, right? My mouth.
Well, that's what I'm trying to learn from you, man. I mean, yeah, I get it. I really do. You make it so simple that at first it was so confusing, but my eyes are opening to your the way you teach and you express yourself. It's so simple that it kind of gets confusing, but once you start continually listening to you, it's just wow. Like right now, you make.
Well, like I said too, the best way to go after a statute, if you feel like going after a statute, is you just use something like assault with a deadly weapon. And it's like, okay, deadly weapon. Okay, who died?
Right.
Like, what? Then I guess it wasn't deadly.
Okay. Wow.
You see, stuff like that. I mean, that's how you destroy this. A judge taught me that. Actually, he taught me that after my trial. He taught me that, during another trial. I came back in the courtroom. I said, this is going to drive me crazy. I said, can you explain if I pled guilty, I was going home. If I pled not guilty, I was going home. And he explained it to me. And then I said, oh, okay. And he says, kid, let me tell you what. He says, what were you charged with? And I said, I was charged with, adding an artificial heat source to speed the fermentation of an alcoholic beverage without a federal permit. He said, yeah. He said, do you understand how ridiculous that sounds? He's like, what? He said, if they really wanted you, they would have charged you with moonshine. He said, but they charged you with adding an artificial heat source to speed the fermentation of an alcoholic beverage without a federal permit. He says,
I remember hearing that.
Right. He says, how do you destroy this statute? How do you make it look totally irrelevant to what you did? How do you make it show that it has absolutely nothing to do with what you did? I said, I don't know. He said, take a word and destroy it. I said, what word? He said, pick a word. He said, I'll pick one for you, kid. Heat, artificial heat. You use the artificial heat source. He says, just use the word natural heat source. Come back to court next week, ask for a retrial, and tell me that you used a natural heat source, and you swear that you used a natural heat source, not an artificial heat source, and I'll discharge this case against you, and I'll clean your record. I said, nah. I said, it's going to look good that I have something like that on my permanent record. I said, moonshine, that's a really cool crime. I said, it's not like baby rape or kidnapping or, assault with, what I'm saying, it's assault with a deadly weapon.
I heard your recording, and I know you said that's a cool charge. I don't mind having that on my record. I can live with that. So. Is there?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You have to take it apart. You have to, like I said, find assault with a deadly weapon. Okay, assault. You mean I assaulted? I did something in the past. I assault. That means I'm doing it presently. Or I'm assaulting, which means I'm doing it now and sometime in the future. So it's assault with a deadly weapon. You mean I assaulted somebody with a deadly weapon?
Right.
Did I assaulted somebody with a deadly weapon, or did I assault somebody with a deadly weapon? Because assault with a deadly weapon means I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Did I do it in the past? That means I assaulted somebody with a deadly weapon.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's funny, man. That's called playing like loopholes, and I really don't like playing loopholes. I'd rather just kick their ass in common law. Just saying, who's the man? I'll compensate them. If I'm done wrong, let me, I want to settle the debt with the man right now. Just have him come forward and let's clean the slate while we're all here together. Or you can play a loophole game.
Okay. I got it.
It depends how you want to play. I mean, I'll play it either way. I'll play the loophole game or I'll play the common law game. I don't care. They're both fun. I don't care.
So you don't even worry about cleaning your record, right? From what I gathered.
No.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, you got your reps you always talk about, and I listen pretty closely.
Everything's discharged and not guilty. Discharged, not guilty. It's hysterical.
Right, discharged. I hear you. So that
funny.
Indictment that is waiting for me, I mean, it just do it like that, like you just said. Just where is the deadly? What deadly weapon? Just like that, at the indictment. I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And what's funny too is, like I said, or like somebody asked me not too long ago. They said, how do you if you're worried about your legal record, if you're worried about your legal person, because most of this country is 80-90% legal nowadays. You got to get a legal license, legal jobs, legal. They want all kinds of documents, paperwork, passports. What you have to do is every state has rules of rehabilitation, how to clean up your legal record. That they will actually have a set of procedures, a set of rules of rehabilitation, of how to get your legal person back into proper status and standing in the community, in the legal society. Just like if you were a member of the Boy Scout Society, they'd have a certain set of rules. Or like the Catholic Society, you'd say 37 Hail Marys and 7 Sons of Graces or whatever, and you'd be back in good standing with Jesus.
Right.
So there's a certain set of procedures, just like George Steinbrenner, when he wanted to get rid of his felony conviction, he gave a ton of money to Richard Nixon's, re-election campaign. So Rich Nixon pardoned him and got rid of that felony conviction against him.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of ways you can rehabilitate yourself through the legal system. There will be a set of rules and codes, that you have to abide by, and you have to almost always have to go back to the court of original jurisdiction, the original judge that sentenced you, and you have to show him that you're worthy of obtaining, legal status again, that you're not a felon. This felon is as low can go. Because felon in Greek actually means some guy who sucks another guy. So if you want to get, if you etymologize the word felon, that's what it means. If you read it in Shakespeare plays, that's actually literally what it means. It's as low as you could be. So if you want to raise your status from being the lowest of the low, and you want to, get rid of that felon status, there's ways to rehabilitate yourself. So, and somebody asked me that the other day. And I said, just go to your local state or county. Probably state. There's probably some sort of a state rehabilitation, to obtain legal status again, to get into the good graces of the legal society again.
Okay. All right. Got you, man.